Woo! Hey guys, Slayer here. Today we have the ultimate Void Hunter build using GyrFalcons Hauberk for endgame content. We have a lot to cover, so make sure to check the timestamps for a specific section. Today I'm going to give you guys a general basis for building the build, budget weapons, non-budget weapons, fragment choices and replacements for certain content, along with artifact mods, synergies, and gear mods. If you missed our ultimate Arc Warlock build guide, make sure to check it out, since Arc is on top. Now let's get started with our subclass breakdown. First things first, you want Echo of Harvest. This is one of the new ones added, so if you don't have it yet, go to Icor in the tower. You can buy it there for about 30,000 Glimmer. Then go to the right, meditate with it so you have it unlocked. You lose 10 intellect, we don't care about that. We want the defeating weakened targets creates an orb of power and a void breach. Now there's a cooldown on this, leave about 10 seconds or so. That's minor because we'll have so much buffs and stacks that we can wait out that 10-second period and continue on. That is a must-have. Now here as well, Echo of Cessation. Finish your final blows, create a burst of void damage that causes nearby combatants to become volatile. Key here in this build is to keep everything volatile, allow us to keep our volatile rounds through our guns or void weapons, and to stay invisible as long as possible. More into the invisibility later. And then when we defeat volatile targets, another void breach. And picking up a void breach or an overpower, we'll have Devour. 100% uptime on Devour. And then finish your final blows grant invisibility. Those are the fragments. Now the aspects. Vanishing Step. Dodging makes you invisible once again, keeping that 100% uptime of invisibility. With our choice of exotic, we'll get into that. That synergizes perfectly. Now, defeating a weakened, suppressed, or volatile target grants invisibility in True Sight. After performing a stylus execution, your next melee attack while invisible weakens targets. See where we're going here? Literally 100% uptime on invisibility, 100% uptime with volatile, and 100% uptime with Devour. Now, choice of grenade here. This would vary, right? I like the Vortex grenade, but you can throw on a suppressor grenade to help with any overloads if you kind of want to mix your weapons a bit. That option's there as well. Even the Void Spike is good. Then Snare Bomb, I like Triple Jump. And then Gambler's Dodge for the melee ability, just in case. Then we run our Shadow Shot Mobius Quiver. This would depend, right? This one you get Weaken and Suppression. Suppression's also on overloads. Now this one, great for prey, Void Anchors have increased range and last longer. Whereas this one, you fire 2 volleys of the 3 arrows that seek nearby targets. It'll make them volatile and deal increased damage to tethered targets, and then defeat these ones for orbs of power. So I kind of like this one a little more, keeping everything volatile. Now, our choice of exotic, GyrFalcons Hauberk. Now this is important, once again, based on our fragments, this is making this perfect. After being invisible, your void weapons gain volatile round. The 100% uptime on volatile rounds. Now, finishers while invisible grant bonus damage for all weapons. You and your nearby allies gain a reserve, overshield, and improved class ability regeneration. And then you can deploy the overshields by using a class ability. Now, this is perfect for a team doing GMs, maybe doing a raid, doing a dungeon. Off the new dungeon, all the enemies, keeping everything volatile since all the enemies are packed up together. Perfect. And then you have the bonus overshields as well. Supplement health. That is great. Now, only thing here I would say which is kind of lacking, that all your weapons gain bonus damage. That's literally for like maybe 3 to 5 seconds. Not necessarily a lot of time to work with, especially if you're just now using this type of build. Once you get used to the build, those 3 to 5 seconds, you'll be, capable of making use of them to deal some increased damage in certain areas. Now, prominently with that, you'll probably make use of that right when you have your super ready. You have some ads to clear. You do that, and then you're into doing DPS to a boss. That's where it'll shine the most. Here's a good depiction of that. We stun the unstoppable, I go invis, get the finisher to get the damage boost. Now that takes the Malfeasance from 3.9 to 5.3. So it's a minor amount of damage increase, but those minor amounts could be the difference. Now, must-have mods on your items. You know, we run Reaper around here, free Orb of Power when using class ability. We're using that 24/7 to stay invisible, and then keep our volatile rounds on our void weapons. Then you run Empowered Finish. Finish your final blows will grant you 1 temporary armor charge when you have none. We'll go into the armor charge a little later, but that's important. And then Proximity Ward, powerful overshield while performing your finisher. This is all about invisibility, doing damage via volatile, creating void breaches, more orbs of power, and of course staying alive. This will help with that as well. Now moving on to your leg armor. Elemental Charge, collecting Fire Sprite, Ionic Trace, Stasis Shard, or Void Breach, escalating chance to give you armor charge. We're creating a lot of Void Breaches just off of our build. I'll save the artifacts to the end, but I'm giving you guys a rundown of the general build, so regardless of artifact stuff, it will perform to an extent. And then we throw on a Void Weapon Surge, because in our case we're running 2 Void Weapons, our energy slot being the Shapeable Auto, and then in our power slot, either the Regnant Grenade Launcher or the Escapade Machine Gun. Then you run Reduce Class Ability Cooldown each time you pick up Orb of Power Insulation, once again to further make sure we have our invisibility at 100% uptime and volatile rounds at 100% uptime. Thanks here. And if you have some artifice, even better, round out your stats. Here for stats, we're looking for recovery. You then probably do some discipline and resilience in terms of PvE. Now, if you can get your mobility around to, I would say, maybe 60, you should be good. Because in our case, remember, any lightweight frame, you get increased mobility while you have that out. So you can cut 20 mobility down and put 20 in somewhere else. In our case, we're at 60 here, so it would take us to 80, which is still pretty good. Remember, we're creating a lot of orbs of power. You don't need it to be rounded off. Your ability will still come back fast. Now, chest armor, once again, this is kind of a foundational basis. Switch these around per content. I like Void Reserves when I'm doing Lost Sectors. We're just running them through with the machine gun, calling it a day. Otherwise, throw on some resistances based on what you're doing. Even can do a charged up, increase maximum number of stacks. As always, as the situation calls for it. Then we run Firepower, Grenade Final Blows, create an Orb of Power. Extra Orb of Power. Melee Kickstart. Melee Energy fully expended, gain melee energy. That's here for our personal preference. And then we throw on a Powered Melee Final Blow, creates an Orb of Power, just for another chance of an Orb of Power. Remember, when we collect Orb of Power, we'll get Devour. Then on your helmet, usually I'll run a Heavy Ammo Finder from a team. In a team, I'll throw a Scout on, Heavy Ammo Scout. Otherwise, hands-on, gain bonus super energy on melee kills. Harmonic Siphon, Void Siphon, Rapid Void Weapon, Final Blows, create an Orb of Power. Basic general stuff. If you're in a team, you'll probably put a Scout on, maybe you'll run Powerful Friends, or Radiant Light. All depends on the situation. That's kind of the general basis there. Ooh, the artifact. On your Tortize mods, Void, to get those. Tortize mod, Melee. Unto the Breach, defeating a Void debuff target creates a Void Breach, while Void subclass is equipped. So again, you want as much as possible. So you can keep your Volatile, keep your Overshield, stay alive. Active Breach, picking up Void Breach, get an Overshield or refreshes your existing Overshield. It's again, staying alive. Always counter charge, armor charge when you stun a champion. Now, on purpose of our Void build, because these other ones are relating to Arc, and this relates to Strand, you're going to have squad goals, so preferably, while you're in a team using this Void one, when you perform your finisher, while you have Devour, it'll give Devour to nearby allies. So keep in mind of that, right? This is going to be a top pick in team play, because you're always doing your finishers to keep your invisibility up, to keep your volatile rounds going. Now, if you're solo queue matching with people, it may not work as intended because there's no communication. They may kill who you're trying to finish. If you have communication, you'll call out you're going to finish them to get your invis and give Devour and all that good stuff. So communication there. The whole team will keep Devour up throughout the whole encounter. And it's Supernova. When you get a Void Breach, because you're creating all these Void Breaches, next source of Void damage will create a large weakening pulse. As we already went over, defeating weakened targets, make other targets volatile, make you invisible, give you true sight. So, pretty solid Void build for team play. Alrighty, now into the budget weapons. First one, Positive Outlook. It is a Void Energy Auto Rifle. You can complete strikes and earn rank up packages from Zavala to obtain it. Now, the purposes for this video here, I'm going to show you guys the columns and what they'll roll on each various weapon and kind of what you're looking for. Now, I throw this one in the budget one, but you may get unlucky and never get Repulsor Brace, which is defeating a Void debuff target and you get an Overshield. Or you may never get Destabilizing Rounds. Final blows cause nearby targets to become volatile. But in the event that you do happen to get a roll with it, you'll be looking for either the Destabilizing or the Repulsor in fourth column. Now, third column, you have some good options here as well. Actually, I lied. The third column is trash. The only good thing is probably the Ambitious Assassin. Now, this is the budget weapon, so we expect the third column to be garbage for our particular build. Make sure you watch over the non-budget section, because the third column for that auto that's on Void, and it's shapeable, knocks this one out the park. And the fourth column as well. Now we have some trait combos here. I'll give you guys my general analysis of it, and what I think you guys should look for. Now, you have Repulsor Brace. Again, defeating Void debuff target grants an Overshield. Several SMGs, Void SMGs, you can get Repulsor Brace for. That's what you'll be looking for in terms of PvE on Offhand Strike and Repulsor Brace. Even Envious Assassin, when you rapidly defeat targets with other weapons before drawing, you get pretty much an overflowed magazine based on the number of targets defeated. Those are good options there, but PvE for the build, you always want Repulsor Brace wherever you can for the extra Overshield. Now your Retrofit Escapade. Target lock. Maximum damage will go up to 45%. And you have the percentage numbers here for each stack and hits of the mag to get each stack, right? Well, at best, 45% once you have the full stack. Better here with the Golden Tricorn because you get the 50% damage buff when you get the matching grenade and power melee kill, and then the regular 15% damage increase for 7 seconds on weapon kills. So you get 5% more. Then take into account the exotic we're using gives us a 35% damage buff when we satisfy those conditions. We're looking at an 85% damage buff for a good 10 seconds. That's what you want in fourth column. Now, third column, you have options here. You can do 4 times Charm, Rapid Precision Hit, scoring 4, refund 2 ammo to the mag, or you do Field Prep, greatly increase ammo reserves, improve faster reload, stow and ready when you're crouching. Now here, the best thing here with this grenade launcher is you can have Repulsor Brace in your third slot, and you can have Destabilizing in your fourth slot, as compared to that Void Auto I showed you that rolls Destabilizing and Repulsor in the 4th column for whatever strange reason. Guys, some of the rolls here for the Age-Old Bond. Once again, why this is so great. Repulsor, Brace, in the old 3rd column. And it's shapeable, so it's going to be enhanced. You get that overshield for an improved duration. And then, over in the 4th column, you can roll destabilizing rounds, roll Golden Tricorn. At Enhance, you can even get target lock on Enhance. In our case, I would go with the destabilizing, keep everything volatile. But if you're doing the combo and you're running the Regnant or the Retrofit Escapade for your power weapon, and you decide, for the Regnant, you decide to put the destabilizing on, run Golden Tricorn for the auto then, in the event that you do that. If you have Golden Tricorn on the Machine Escapade, then run destabilizing on the auto rifle. Now this is obtainable via the Last Wish. Literally all last week, I was farming it, I got everything shapeable. So I can bring you guys the best of the best. This is your best in slot option. Auto rifles are the anti-barriers. You have the best perk combination through here. You got Kill Clip, you got Collective Action, the new one, collecting Void Breaches, you get stack Imperative increased damage. But out of them all, the Golden Tricorn will give you the most, as long as you do damage and kill someone with either your powered melee or your Void Grenade. You get that plus 50%. So these are your best options here. Here, these don't matter. I throw a range one on, kick it up to 92 range. And then the Fluted Barrel, call it a day. This time we're recording this, we're still leveling ours up. There will be some footage on screen of just the regular weapon. Without those, because of it having volatile, it's just tearing through the enemies. Bonus content! Honorable mentions for more weapons based on the content. Now, hopefully you guys, you did your Guardian games and that was out and you got a good scout rifle. It's again, talked about it, lightweight frame, get the plus 20 mobility. So that'd be in our top slot for any overloads. We go with explosive payload, get shot straight to maximize the damage. Nothing else doesn't matter per se, but these are these. We got range, masterwork. So on a major spec, these are do the powerful, so the overload champions. Let alone this is shapeable, so even if other ones roll it, you may not get lucky. This, just get the shapes in. You're guaranteed it once you level it up. Let me know down below what other builds you guys would like to see. Next build video, we will be taking it over to the Titan. I don't know if we're going to do Arc or Strand, or maybe I'll do both, depending on how good we can get the Arc build going. Loving these build videos, I'm having fun making them. I hope you guys are enjoying them as well. If you are, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to never miss a great ultimate guide.